Hello class. Starting with our week 5 assignments, we're going to take advantage of a GitHub capability to help us turn in our assignments. So if you go to our week 5 module, you'll see this page set up submitting assignments. I'm going to go into that. And on this page, I have a default readme.md file, which has a special meaning in GitHub. We can look at an example. In this project, I created a readme.md, and I also have an associated image file that I've named readme.jpg or JPEG to display on this project info screen. So my readme.md displays automatically by GitHub, and it's created in a markdown type of language that means things to GitHub. So heading 1, heading 2, an image can display many different things like that. So we're going to look at creating that for our project instead of using the program submission document. So maybe we can get away from that and do something a little bit more up to date. So I'm going to click on my readme.md and download that. I'll just save it to my downloads folder. And I have the project that I want to add that file to over here in NetBeans. Now, in order to copy this file correctly into my project, I want it to end up in my project folder, my root folder. I don't want it to be in my source or any of the other folders because I want it to show up in GitHub when somebody clicks on my project folder. So I'm going to click on my Files tab and change my view to show me all the files in my project, and then bring back up that screen that shows that downloaded file, and I'm going to drag this into my project folder. Now my README is there, but I need to rename it. So I'm going to rename it so it is just readme.md. And Canvas sort of made me name it all sorts of other things, but now we've got just our readme.md file. Now if I double click on that, it'll open just fine here in NetBeans, and I could update it if I wanted to right here, or I can wait and update it in GitHub. Now the next thing I need to do is get a screenshot of my executing project. I'll go back to my projects tab. Doesn't matter, I could run my project from either place and run my project. I've got my cute little buttons showing up. I'm going to use the snipping tool to grab those. Here are my buttons. I'm going to save this, and I'd like to save this into my project folder, and my computer is responding nicely because that is my current folder, so it's put me right in there to save it, and I'm going to name this readme.jpg. I should be able to close out of my snipping tool, and if I look at my files view again, I should see my JPEG file and my .md file. Here's my JPEG file. I can look at it in the viewer in NetBeans. So now on my project folder, I've got the blue indicator showing that I have files that have been updated since my last check into GitHub. So I'll go ahead and create a commit. And I'm going to say this is my listing 16.1 with Readme. So we only have 2 updated files. I had previously checked in the rest of the contents of my project. If I hadn't, I should see those files here also. I'm ready to commit that. See my output and not much going on there. I'll go ahead and push those changes then. Sorry, my mouse is just fighting with me. Now I'm pushing all of those to the GitHub server. My program is still running, so I'll stop it. Poor computer is so old. Now, looking at GitHub, I should be able to see that updated project. I think I closed my window. Back into my repository. It was chapter 15, listing 15_1 that I was working with. Now if I click on that, I see that I've got my excuse me, readme.md file showing and my example output image is displaying. So I'm ready to update this readme to be appropriate for my project. Again, like I said, I could have done that on NetBeans, but in GitHub I can click on the file and click edit. Now the £1 indicates header 1. We'll say this is listing 15_1 and 2 buttons not down. Click events and class. Our example output is going to be displayed. Now you'll continue to fill in this document about how you designed your project and what kind of testing that you did and any notes, issues, or bugs that you might have at time of turn-in. After that, you'll leave everything below that line, licensing information, and then you're ready to commit those changes. Now, when I look at my project in GitHub, and when anybody else looks at my project in GitHub, I have some nice overview information telling me about the project. It's listing 15_1. I have 2 buttons with click events and classes, and then my example output and other information that I might want to have about my project. So this is a nice summary piece of information. So now that I've got this, I could click on my URL, copy that, and take that to Canvas. And if this were a project that I needed to turn in, go to a student view. Let's see if it will let me do that. Find my new assignment, Week 5 race car, and this one, sure enough, is updated. Submit that assignment, and then we don't need to upload any files, so we can just go to our URL and paste that in and submit the assignment, and that should be it. Now, I won't actually be looking at your URL because I already have that information, but we can continue to submit it to verify things. If you're using a non-standard repository for your assignments or something like that, then make sure to give me the URL. Otherwise, you can just, put in a comment. It'll probably make you though, but I'm going to submit it. And it should be ready to go. So that's going to be our revised turn-in method. So instead of having the program submission document, you'll be able to create a nice document on GitHub that other programmers could see if you wanted to make your repository public so that you could share some information out. I have a nice one to show you. It also is listed in our page. This is one that would be more of a published type thing, so we can see the image that they used and some overview information and some contact information for the developers. So great opportunity for you to get your name out there, depending on how you want to do this. So let me know if you have any questions. From now on, this will be how we submit assignments. I hope that everything works out for you. Let me know if there's any problems. Thank you.